Welcome to the Brain Alpha. You've heard this a million times, right? Every super successful person, from entrepreneurs to artists, seems to have one habit in common. They keep a journal. It's kind of sold as this magic bullet for success. But let's be real. That advice usually just stops there.
Because just right isn't a strategy. It's nothing. You sit down with that blank page and you're thinking, okay, now what? Do I write about my day, my anxieties, my big dreams? Without a clear system, that new journal just ends up gathering dust. And that's exactly the problem we're going to solve today.
So let's dive in. Our guide for this is a man who's built a massive career on one simple idea: finding the absolute most effective way to do something with the least amount of wasted effort. I'm talking about Tim Ferriss. He's not just some productivity guru, he's a master of building systems that actually work.
What I find so fascinating is how he describes himself. He doesn't call himself a workaholic. He says he's an efficiency-obsessed, lazy person. And that's the whole key. His philosophy is all about getting the biggest possible results from the smallest possible input. It makes his whole approach to journaling incredibly practical and honestly doable.
And you can't argue with the results. I mean, this is the guy behind The 4-Hour Workweek, a book that sold over 10 million copies. It completely blew up the old ideas about work and how we should live our lives.
His backstory is actually pretty wild. When he was just 14, he figured out how to do an 8-hour cleaning job in just 1 hour, and he got fired for it. Fast forward to 24, he's running a company, working himself into the ground, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he just completely burns out. He literally fled to Spain to escape. And here's the crazy part. While he was gone, his company's revenue shot up by 40%. That was a huge lesson for him. Being busy is not the same thing as being productive.
Okay, so that brings us to his first tool. This one is all about catching those brilliant, fleeting ideas before they just vanish into thin air. You can think of it as your brain's external hard drive.
The system itself is so simple it's genius. First step, speed is everything. The second an idea pops into your head, you write it down. No judgment, no filter. Step 2, you review and revisit. Maybe the next day, you reread it and underline anything that still sounds good. A month later, you go back with a highlighter for the ideas that have really stuck with you. And the final step, step 3, you define action. For your best ideas, you write a specific, concrete next step in the bottom right corner. This is how a random thought becomes a real project.
And when he says write down every idea, he is not kidding. This is a real list from one of his notebooks. Sell my house. Quit all social media for 3 months. Donate all my assets. Even cut off my leg. Now, obviously, he didn't cut off his leg, but writing it down led him to actually try a 10-day fast and a 3-month social media detox, which he said were life-changing experiences. The point is, you can't judge the idea as it comes out. Just get it on the page. All right, let's move on to tool number 2. This one shifts the focus. It's less about capturing ideas from the world and more about clearing out all the junk from inside your own head. If the pocket notebook is for catching lightning in a bottle, this is for cleaning the engine. The concept is called morning pages, and it comes from an author named Julia Cameron. Basically, it's a total brain dump. It's not about writing something profound or poetic. It's literally about getting all the anxious, weird, distracting, jumbled thoughts out of your head and onto paper so you can start your day with a clean slate.
The rules are really specific, but they work. First, use a big notebook so your thoughts have room to breathe. Second, you have to write 3 full pages, first thing in the morning. Third, you write anything. If you have nothing to say, you literally write, "I have nothing to say," over and over until something else comes. And this last one is probably the most important rule of all. It has to be 100% private. This is for you, not for an audience.
And now for our third and final tool. If the pocket notebook is for creativity and morning pages are for clarity, then the 5-minute journal is all about programming your brain for positivity and focus. It is by far the most structured and the quickest of the 3 methods.
And the process is incredibly straightforward. In the morning, you just list 3 things you're grateful for. And we're talking small stuff, like how good your coffee tastes or the sun coming through the window. Then, 3 things that would make today great. And finally, your daily affirmations. Then at night, you do a quick review. 3 amazing things that happened and 2 things that could have made the day just a little bit better. It's like a 5-minute-a-day workout for your brain, training it to see the good and learn from the not so good.
So you might be wondering, what exactly is an affirmation? It's really simple. It's a positive statement that you write down as if it's already true. So instead of writing, "I want to be more confident," you'd write, "I am confident and calm." The whole idea is to state your goals in the present tense to help kind of program your subconscious for success.
Now, to make sure this habit actually sticks, here are a few pro tips. Number 1, don't overthink it. Seriously, 5 minutes max. Also, consistency is way more important than completion. If you only have time to write one thing you're grateful for, that's better than nothing. And finally, every few months, flip back through your journal. You'll start to notice patterns. Tim said he realized he was constantly writing about drinking too much coffee. Seeing that pattern gave him a really specific problem he could actually go and solve.
Okay, so we have covered 3 really powerful but really different tools. But listen, the goal here is not to perfectly do all 3 of these starting tomorrow. The real goal is just to start. So the real question you need to ask yourself is, which one of these just speaks to you? Don't worry about creating the perfect journaling system on day 1. Just pick the one that feels the most useful, or maybe the most interesting, or even just the most achievable for you right now.
So let's just break it down one last time to make it super clear. If you're someone who has ideas hitting you all the time and you need a way to capture them, grab a pocket notebook. If your mind just feels cluttered, you're feeling anxious, and you need some clarity, you should try morning pages. And if you want something fast and structured to build a more positive and focused mindset, the 5-minute journal is definitely for you.
And here is the most important takeaway from all of this. You do not have to do everything. The real promise here is that just picking one of these methods and actually sticking with it will bring really dramatic, noticeable changes to your focus, your ability to get things done, and just your overall quality of life.
So now the only thing left to do is to actually begin. Pick your tool, grab a notebook, and just make that first entry. What's it going to be? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.